morning, everyone. We're back with Karen. Karen is here.
Back in the saddle.
Back here. We're back in actually Virginia. Hey, guys, welcome to the show. We're going to answer your questions. If there's anything that we say that even remotely comes close to diagnosing you or anything related to curing any type of diseases, it's not meant for that. It's just meant to
delete it.
Give you food for thought, okay?
Food for thought.
Healthy
no
food
pun
for
intended.
Thought. Yeah. Good. So we gave you the disclaimer. And I'll let you kind of see where people are from while I jump right to the questions. How about that?
Good.
Lena, you're from Alabama, and you had a question. You had that one question. Go ahead. That burning question.
Oh, yes. Hey, how you doing today?
Good. Thanks.
Yes, my question today is I'm 57 years old. I've been doing a keto diet for over a year, started out on paleo and then went to keto. I go to an all-natural doctor. I'm having problems with my cholesterol. In 2018, I had a calcium score done, and I got a total of 126. Okay, my total cholesterol then was last August was 338. My LDL was 64. My LDL was 257. My triglycerides was 89. I went back last week and got my blood work done and got my results back, and so this is what they are today. My total cholesterol was 423. My LDL 325. HDL 83. And the triglycerides was 75.
What was
my
your
blood
calcium
sugar
score?
was great.
What was your
My calcium score last year was a 126.
No, this year.
I didn't have one done
okay.
this year. I had one done last year, and she said we would do another one in a I think she said 3 to 4 years. We'd do another calcium score. My inflammation was 0. My blood sugar, everything was fine. I'm taking supplements, magnesium, vitamin K, MK7, my multivitamins.
Good.
Everything is great, but my cholesterol is at a very. And she wanted me to start taking the berberine,
Okay.
500 milligrams 2 times a day. So what do you suggest? I mean, should I be real concerned about this and it going higher?
I have some questions for you. Okay, number one, how often are you eating per day?
Now most of the time I'll eat like 2 meals a day, and then there's sometimes I'll go I'll eat like at 6 o'clock that night, and I won't eat again till around 12 or 1. Most of the time I do like 2 meals a day, you know.
And did you calculate, like, are you having any like little hidden carbs, a little bit of cheat day, sweet things here and there?
No, I do no sweets, no bread. I hadn't had any bread, no carbs, nothing like that, and it's been way over a year. But when I do have anything, I'll, make it like the recipes I'll see online or something, to use artificial sweeteners like the kind that you use. I'll do it like that, but no, I don't.
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe I have too much. Maybe I have too much fat. I'm eating, I eat a lot of eggs and bacon when I do have breakfast and stuff. So.
Okay, so another question, last question. What about your, do you have any gallbladder or liver issues? Anything related to gallbladder?
She said my liver was fine.
No,
but now I did a while back. I was having some pain in my shoulder, and so I started. She put me on some of that was called stone blocker, and I took it like for 3 months, and the shoulder pain went away.
Okay, so here's a couple of things that I'd recommend, Lena. You may have possibly, and you should get it checked, a genetic high cholesterol issue. There could be that, and in which case, maybe you lower your dietary fat down a little bit. Also, red yeast is a really good natural remedy for cholesterol if you're concerned. But the main thing you want to do is evaluate your remnant cholesterol. Take your total cholesterol minus the HDL and the LDL, okay, and see and watch my video on that, because that'll actually show you, and that'll give you some data. Because think about it, cholesterol. Well, let's just talk about LDL. You ever hear about LDL? The concept LDL?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Hi. Yes, LDL, HDL, LDL.
And people say it's a bad cholesterol, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, two things. Number one, it's not even cholesterol. And number two, it's not bad. It's protein. And protein,
I like that deer, like when you're driving down the road and they're
Yeah.
walking along and all of a sudden they notice that the car is coming and they're just like this.
that's why I kind of
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
So it's not, I mean, LDL is not bad and it's not even cholesterol. So you got two things against it. It's a cargo ship that carries cholesterol. And so when you eat more fat, it's going to go higher. Is it a problem? Only if you're doing sugar, only if your insulin is high. But Lena has zero inflammatory markers, perfect blood sugars. So should she be concerned? Not too much. I mean, you can get a more in-depth study on this to look more at some other factors like the pattern of cholesterol that you have. And you can do that if you want. But check out my video on remnant cholesterol. Also, stone root is only good for kidney stones, not gallstones. So bile, you may need some bile. Bile helps to get rid of some of this excess cholesterol. So if there has been some previous problem with your liver, then let's say you might need some bile to help speed up the extraction of some excess cholesterol. The other thing is I would highly recommend getting that calcium test a lot sooner, maybe once every 6 months. Even though you're in still an okay range, we want it down to 0. So it's all about what that cholesterol is doing. Is it oxidizing or is it just like going, it's not going to stick to your arteries unless it's oxidized, if there's some insulin or sugar involved. You also can take B3 and NATO. That's another couple remedies for that. So that's what I would do, Lena. But thanks for your question. I appreciate it. And let us know what happens. Karen, where are people located that
First
are
of all,
watching right
Steve, someone hears you laughing in the background. Our funny
now?
producer.
All right, what do we got?
Wow, it's more today than I've
Usual?
ever seen it. Yeah, I mean, in the first 30 seconds, Nevada, and honestly all over the United States, I'll read some of them. The Philippines, Nashville, Virginia, Egypt, Quebec, all over Canada actually, the Caribbean, Malaysia, Australia, South Africa, got Minnesota, Baltimore, Texas, Sweden, Washington, D.C., Washington State, India, the UK, Vietnam, Hungary, Afghanistan, Georgia, Iceland, the Netherlands, Switzerland, Argentina, and most importantly, South Philly. Because I'm going to tell you, South Street, cheesesteaks, I'm sorry, I was raised...
Without the bread, of course.
The cheesy with? You know what I'm saying, South Philly.
Well, you know, some of these countries I would love to visit someday. I would love to visit some of these countries. So we'll have to do a road trip someday.
Trinidad, Brazil.
Wow. I want to go to Karen. Karen, are you there? You're from Florida.
Yes, I am.
Oh, another Karen.
Yes, I am.
Hi, Karen.
I am here.
Great.
Hi.
Go ahead. You had a question.
My question is on behalf of my friend Linda. She can't call in because of her work schedule. She's been on keto for since November, healthy keto and intermittent fasting, and she has not lost any weight. And I'm a future Berg coach, and I just don't know what to do next to help her.
Okay, so since she's not here to, because I would ask her some questions, but there's a couple things I want to talk about relating to that.
I can probably answer most of the questions because I've been working with her intimately.
Does she have any other health benefits like energy, better cognitive function, less cravings? Does she have any of those improvements?
She doesn't think so. She didn't have much in the way of cravings in the beginning. She wasn't much of a sugar person to begin with. And she also just got all of her blood tests. She's 71. She got her checkup, and she doesn't have any negative health indicators.
Is the clothes on her body looser?
No.
Okay. So then what I would do is I would want to know exactly what she's eating. Now, you don't have to get into it because we don't have time to do a full evaluation, but
right.
I would basically go through and look closely at exactly what she's eating. Does she have bloating from the vegetables? Does she have Is her carbs a little too high? She has too much fat? Is she doing intermittent fasting strict enough? People that don't lose weight need to do one meal a day. And so these are the factors that I would look at mostly. But I do want to just kind of, since you brought it up, Karen, I want to just talk to both Karens here. And just kind of talk about, it's fascinating how our bodies are designed to store an unlimited amount of fat. They're really good stores. Over the, and I'm not mentioning...
Overachiever.
There's no limit to how much fat we can store. And this has been like developed for like tens of thousands of years. Our bodies are amazing stores of energy. And we're also really, really, really good at adapting to not eating. Our bodies have been starving for tens of thousands of years. So we've developed all sorts of amazing mechanisms to cope with starvation. And so nowadays, we have food around us 24/7. And our bodies are not used to it. So we slowly adapt and we slow our metabolism down, where even at 2 meals a day, like you might not even lose weight because the metabolism is adjusted. I mean, I know this might be shocking, Karen, but there are actually delivery services that will actually bring food to your house 24/7, or at least maybe up to 12 o'clock midnight. I don't know if they work 24/7. But they'll bring a pizza to your house, so there's never any starvation or threat of survival.
No.
There's so much food around, and that's really the problem, is the frequency of eating. We just don't want to go hungry. So I think what's happening with this lady who's 71 is that her system is, she's going to have to kind of go back to the paleo method of just doing stricter intermittent fasting, making sure that she's not bloating from the vegetables, which will keep you from losing weight, and bringing that carb down lower and lower. On some people, and this might be your friend who you're consulting, you might need to go longer than a day without eating. I mean, go 2 days or even 3 days. Eventually, you are going to lose weight if you stop eating.
Yeah, I mean, my experience, if you just fasting a day and a half, it really...
just starting the process.
It just started things. And actually, from that point, things really shifted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a friend, I don't know if she's watching now, Marianne, who just started keto on Sunday. She's like, I haven't lost any weight yet. Like, yeah, well, your body's in bad shape. Somebody's 70 years old and they just got started.
Well, she started since November.
Okay, that's 4 months, right? 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I would be, I agree. I mean, it's either eating something or some chronic stress, or are there meds? Is she taking meds that are creating some other issue or something like that? But really doing clean, healthy keto and intermittent fasting. And what is the intermittent fasting? Is it just not snacking between 3 meals? Is it 2 meals? Or what? I mean, the body will heal. This is what causes the body to heal. So
typically, most people will lose weight on what she's doing. But the thing is, like, if they're not,
I need more time.
You need actually either more time, but you basically need to dissect what they're actually doing. And if you compare it to what I recommend in this book, this is why I created this book, so you can actually do it yourself. You just look through it, you compare what you're doing to see what's not right. This book goes beyond the diet. This goes into the body types, it goes into all the reasons why it wouldn't work, it goes to all sorts of body problems that are underlying. So anyway, there has to be a reason, and if you go to my website, I just released this today, and you click under the tab Keto and scroll down, there's a little button that says Keto on Steroids. It's a little program I have. It's $1, and you can actually get the transcripts and watch the video on a very updated, detailed program called Keto on Steroids. It takes it to the next level. That's what I just realized. I just forgot about that. You might want to send her to that. Thanks, Karen. Hey, Derek. How are you? Are you there? From Queens?
Hey, Derek. Hey, Dr. Berg. How you doing?
Good. So your autonomic nervous system needs some help.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I've been having some, circulation issues as well. I called last week for somebody else with circulation, but I picked up the Pictionol myself. I started that. I take all your supplements. I've been taking it consistently for about a year. Adrenals, blood sugar, vitamin D, cruciferous, basically everything. I just don't have the joint formula. So I don't really know what's going on here, but I do have, for example, like when I lie down and I'll lie and, a little bit, I start feeling like numbness and tingling, and it's accompanied with burning and stuff like that. So it's kind of an all-over body effect now. This started like 5 days ago.
Okay, so one of the things that I want to just mention that you might want to look, because I know you're taking benfotiamine and you're taking, which is B1, which is really, it's like for peripheral neuropathy type issues. But there's some other reasons for paresthesia or alteration in nerve, sensory or motor nerve issues. And one is hypercalcemia. Not that you have this, but realize that when you go up with your vitamin D, which I think is really, really important in all these different conditions, which we'll talk about later in the show, but you might need a lot more K2, especially since our bodies are usually deficient in K2. K2 will help remove that excess calcium that tends to develop within the system. And a lot of people are deficient. And K2 is like a rock star when it comes down to transporting calcium from your arteries into the joint, making your bones really, really solid. But they have other functions too, increasing your endurance when you're working out, your metabolism, and helps the mitochondria. So let's say, for example, you're, and this happened with me, like I have this huge hill at my house. And in the beginning, man, I could not go all the way up at one shot. After I'm taking the two, support with the mitochondrial support thing I have with the B1 together, but I made sure I had K2, I can go up that thing with not much breathing. I mean, it's quite remarkable. So that's what I would focus on. I would take a lot more of K2, Derek, and see if that doesn't help you. That just might be what you're missing. Thanks, Derek. Karen?
Yeah.
We got some time for you to ask some questions.
We have time?
Yeah.
For me and the thousands of people that are on social media?
Yes.
You're such a giver.
I am.
I know it. Hey, I did want to mention France, Denmark, Morocco, Colombia, Asia, Nepal, Guyana in the house.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so lots of quick questions here.
And I do have some quizzes, so don't go anywhere.
Quizzes
Stick around, and great vital information. And I'm also going to
vital information,
including I'm going to talk about bulletproof coffee and will that stop your Toffee G? Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
Don't want to miss it.
No meaningless information here.
No.
All vital. Okay. Keto and breastfeeding. You have a video on this?
Yes, I do, Karen.
Okay, well, just yes or no.
You absolutely, positively want to do keto with breastfeeding. Now, do you want to do intermittent fasting? Nothing crazy, no. But you want to do keto with healthy keto.
Healthy keto.
With breastfeeding. Very, very important, because if you're doing higher carbs, that means you're going to be depleting certain nutrients. And just think about this, Karen. If you're just missing one nutrient, you can literally drop the IQ of that child. You can set the child up for all sorts of developmental problems with learning, attention, cognitive function, and dental structure, bone development, trace minerals. So yeah, we want to do the healthy version of keto.
Good. You should be doing, if you're thinking about getting pregnant, you and your spouse should be doing healthy keto. Right?
Start at least 2 years before you have that baby. Vital, vital, vital. And what's really important is cod liver oil for women that want to get pregnant, because cod liver oil is even different than fish oil. It has not just the omega-3 fatty acids, DHA and EPA, but it has vitamin A and vitamin D, two really key vitamins for a developing baby. Incredible. I mean, without those two, they even found with kids, if you actually are vitamin D deficient, you set the child up for problems down the road with asthma, with allergies, with autoimmune. So it's a simple solution, because one thing about breast milk, it doesn't contain as much vitamin D. And they even tracked it down to this. They found that babies that were born in certain times of the month where there's more sun, where the mother gets more sun,
Certain times of the month?
certain times of the year, certain months of the year,
Oh, I gotcha.
where you just got this dose of sun versus low dose of sun, have less autoimmune diseases. In fact, people that live in northern climates have more MS than in southern climates, just for the sun, unless they consume the fatty fish that is in Alaska, which has the vitamin D.
So go to Alaska
Eat your fish.
or the beach.
You want to eat your fish, or you want to go to the beach. You pick it. You have a choice.
Okay.
Either or.
Good. So what causes anemia?
Well, there's different kinds of anemia. There's iron anemia, where a woman's just losing their blood, in which case they need to consume more red meat, not just iron. But there's also like vitamin B12 anemia, which you need, like vegans might have that because they're not consuming B12 they're not eating liver all day long. The other thing is, like, you also have low stomach acids. If you're on like an antacid, or you have heartburn, which means you have low stomach acid, that could be a reason why you're anemic. I did a video on this.
Oh, see the video. Okay.
I actually did a video on pretty much everything.
Pretty much every question you have, there is a video on, but we're taking these questions anyway. Now, Diana wants to know something you know the answer to.
What is it?
Does eating the same food every day stall you?
Not if it's a healthy same food.
Do you eat the same food every day?
Yes, I do. If it supplies all the nutrients, it's not going to be a bad thing at all. In fact, you know what? When I go to a restaurant, do I normally eat the same thing?
Exact.
Why chance
Same
some
food.
food that I don't like? I mean, it could be risky. You could actually order something you don't like. But if you know what you like, just order the same thing.
There you go. It's a working system.
It's workable.
Now, here's an interesting question. Aruna wants to know, she has an autistic child who's very sensitive to sound. Is there anything in healthy keto that could help that?
Sensitive to sound? That's actually a B1 deficiency.
What would she
Nutritional.
do with her?
Give her some nutritional yeast.
Okay, there you go.
Do you like that answer?
I like that answer. That's
I-
snappy.
I think it's time for a question,
A quiz.
a quiz.
Yes.
All right, guys. And you just see what people say. Okay, I don't want you to guess this. What is the single most vital vitamin
Didn't we do this
for
one?
all autoimmune diseases? Okay? I'm talking like significant. Go ahead and type what you think.
Okay, repeat the question.
What is the single most vital, important vitamin in preventing and dealing with autoimmune diseases? All autoimmune diseases. Let's see what people say.
I'm going to take a guess. I'm just going to write it down.
Okay, you just guessed on that. Okay. All right, good. So now, while they're answering that, let us go to Alexa from Sarasota, Florida. Are you there?
Hi, Dr. Berg.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. Hi as well, Karen. You guys are adorable.
Hi.
So I am 32 years old, and I have a problem with constipation. I've been constipated most of my life, but I have a suspicion that that might be because my appendix was removed when I was about a month old. It wasn't supposed to be removed. The doctor just did it without my parents' permission. And I think because of that, I've never had good gut flora. Also, I've eaten poorly my whole life, but especially after college. And now that I'm 32, I'm attempting to fix it. And so I've gone on keto twice before, and I've always had to stop because I get very constipated and very bloated. So I started taking magnesium, potassium aspartate, and that does help me. I do have a bowel movement per day. But I wanted to know if there's something else you might recommend, because I'm concerned that if I take the magnesium, potassium aspartate every day, that it might deplete my calcium or something like that.
Okay.
So what would be your suggestion?
Yeah. No, it's not going to deplete your calcium. I would take that every day because it's working. And magnesium, potassium, you need a lot of that every day, especially potassium. You may want to take my electrolytes simply because it has 1,000 milligrams of potassium and it has all the electrolytes and all the trace minerals. So that way you get everything. But especially it'll help you with constipation because when you increase potassium, you support the smooth muscle around the colon, and that helps. It helps pump. Actually helps that pump move better. It's called peristalsis. The other thing is like you probably would benefit from purified bile salts because that can act as a laxative to lubricate the colon, which you could be deficient in, and of course take a probiotic as well. Those are some things I would do. Hopefully you're doing my version of keto, which is the healthy version. So, and then combine intermittent fasting too, because that'll improve the transit time through the colon and help to fix that. And one last point, if you have bowel problems and you had an appendectomy, there's a video I did on this a long time ago where you can do a pressure point on the mirror image side on the opposite side, and you massage on the left lower quadrant, mirror imaging the appendix where it used to be, and you'll find a really sore spot in that area. Work that out, and believe it or not, that just helps to relax the colon, and it may help you go to the bathroom. All right, thanks for calling. Karen.
And if you can't eat those green leafy vegetables, do more steamed vegetables.
Yeah, that's right, steamed vegetables. That's
Very
a really
important.
good idea.
Okay, good. So every vitamin there was listed. I would say mostly I'm seeing B's, but literally D, B, C, A, D, A, B.
Okay.
Well, that's not every vitamin. That's like the first 4 groups.
Okay, guys, so this is really, really, really important. Are you ready for this? It's vitamin D. The most important. Let me tell you why. And if anyone's checked out, check back in right now, because you guys need to know this. If you know people who have autoimmune, if you have an autoimmune, talk about lupus where your body's attacking itself, or MS, or whatever, vitamin D is the most amazing thing. Every single immune cell in your body has a receptor for vitamin D. Vitamin D is an immune modulator. Do you know what that means?
I should, because that's just an English word. But I'm going to go with the truth. I do not.
Okay, it's just a regulator. It controls. It's like it regulates the function.
It controls the immune system.
Yes. More than any other vitamin.
Okay.
And what's happening now with a lot of people, and you can get this test if you really want. It's a little expensive. You don't need to do it. But a lot of people have a mutation, an alteration in the receptor for vitamin D, which makes it difficult to absorb vitamin D. I'm not going to give you the fancy name for it, but I will do a video on it. And if you're taking vitamin D, it's possible that it's not going in. And if it's not going in, you're going to be weak with, your immune system is going to be more susceptible to having problems with autoimmune diseases and many other things. But vitamin D is freaking incredible for autoimmune. It's a direct correlation. The people that have autoimmune always have low vitamin D. If you increase your vitamin D, it decreases the symptoms and the incidence of getting these autoimmune diseases. So it's very important. But stay tuned. I will do a more complete video. In fact, I'll do one today on it because it's such a simple thing to test. people typically are concerned, though, like, oh, I don't want to take too much vitamin D because I'm going to get too much calcium in the blood and it's going to clog. No, you just take K2 with it. And plus, if you're concerned, just avoid dairy for a while, right?
Get some sun.
Exactly.
Little sun every day.
But if you have autoimmune and you need higher dosage, you're going to need even more vitamin D than the sun can give you.
All right.
Stay tuned for that.
Okay.
Good. We got some more questions coming up, guys. This next one's going to be a true or false, but I'm not going to tell you what it is for another 10 minutes. I think we need to go to Wendy. You're from Tampa. Are you there?
Hey, good morning, you guys. How
Good
are y'all
morning.
today?
I'm doing
Hi.
great.
Hey, I eat clean and healthy 100%, and I do eat OMAD. Now, I purchased your veggie solution plain, not the one with sugar, and I want to know, can I sip on this all day, or is it going to be like a meal, meaning if I put it in my mouth, it's going to spike my insulin? I just don't want to mess with my intermittent fasting by sipping all day.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I had a release of this product right here. This is the plain version. There's one that's sweetened with stevia, but this you take 2 scoops and it equals 6 cups a day.
And there's no sugar.
Yeah,
She
sugar.
said the one with
And it
sugar, but
tastes
there's
good.
no
That's
sugar
good.
in the other one.
Yeah, and so the thing is, like, it's going to be a minor point, but I think if you want the benefits of autophagy, you should, to maximize the benefits, I would take it during a meal. I wouldn't spread it out.
Okay.
Just because we want to have, like, no food. Even though it's going to be a minor point, might as well just do one sitting. Not kind of. I mean, you can put
Okay,
an
that
IV
sounds
and just
great.
let it in, but other than that, no. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
You're
Appreciate your
welcome.
help.
Thanks for calling.
Have a great day.
Okay. That was
Now-
a nice, quick question.
That was a nice, quick question. Now, I just have to say, and maybe you can back this up with why this would be, that when I have a glass with a couple scoops of that, it kills any and all hunger for hours and hours. I mean, there's no fat in it, right?
No, there is.
Oh,
There's
there is fat.
Yeah, there's omega-3 fat.
Okay. Well, that would explain it, because if I have a glass of that, I'm literally full, completely satisfied for maybe 7 hours.
Well, what's different about this is what's in it. It's basically it's called water lentils. Water lentils is different than actual lentils. It's not a bean. It's the smallest flour, and it basically has the highest protein of any plant on this planet Earth. So it's very, very protein dense, very nutrient dense. Has chlorophyll. It has phytonutrients, mass amounts of lutein. It has amino acids, like we just talked about that, and a lot of vitamins and minerals and magnesium. So when you're taking this, it's instantly going to satisfy a lot of things. And it's very keto friendly because there's hardly any carbs. But you're like, well, wait a second. It's a plant. Yeah, but it's mostly fiber. That's the carb, but it's no effect on insulin. Very, very cool product. I love it, and it's way better than pea protein and definitely soy protein. And it's comparable to whey protein as far as assimilation of amino acid profile. I mean, that's like incredible for being a plant. So, all right, Karen, let's go to Dave. You're from Utah. You had a question. Go ahead, Dave.
Hi, it's me, David. It's me from last week or previous weeks ago. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing good, thanks.
Good. So it's me again. I'm from Orem. Hey, I just was wondering, I've been doing intermittent fasting now. I've done it 3 days, and I lost 9 pounds. So I figured that it's very important with a guy my size that fasting is has been it's been a really credible benefit for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree.
Great.
So I was just wondering, so I was just hoping that I keep this. So what I'm doing with my fast, I'm taking a drink that's 4-part lemon juice, 1 part apple cider vinegar, and then mix it with stevia and then half a teaspoon of potassium and then about 30 drops of stevia, and I take that once in a while. I take that during my fasting.
Okay.
So is that pretty good a pretty good drink to have during my fast?
Yeah, I think it's important when you're doing fasting to do the apple cider vinegar and the lemon. You can add stevia to it as well. You can add your electrolytes. Absolutely. Like what I like to do is I do my electrolyte powder because it has some stevia in it, so it's kind of sweet. But then I dump a lot of lemon in there. Like sometimes I'll do like half a cup of lemon juice, and it's not tart with that stevia, so it's like a strong lemonade. And I'll drink that down, and my body loves it. My body loves it. So I will do that, and the apple cider vinegar will help your blood sugars and help you go a long period of time. So if you're a newbie to intermittent fasting, let your body tell you what pattern you should do. Start by cutting out the most important meal of the day, which is the breakfast. It's a myth, by the way. Don't do the breakfast. Do a lunch, and then eat a dinner, and then don't eat any snacks, and then start shortening that time frame. Now, recently, I shifted my time when I eat, and I like this a lot better. Normally, I would have 2 meals, like 12 and maybe 5. Now what I'm doing is I'm going all the way till like 3:30, having the first meal, and then I'll eat a later meal. I like that a lot better, because I'm not hungry until I'm not even hungry at 3:30. But
Well, why are you eating then?
well, because if I go less than that, I can lose some serious weight.
You mean longer than that?
Yeah, right. If I actually have less food, yeah, right.
Oh.
I basically
Loses
get
too much weight.
Too lean. So I have to keep my calories
Bragger.
around 3,000 to 3,400 an hour.
An hour.
I'm just kidding.
He's kidding.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve.
We need to actually,
Sometimes
I think in
we
every
need-
single joke, we need to have that. I think that would work out
Right.
so people know when to
Because
laugh.
his sense of humor is so dry. I spend my whole life going, he's just joking.
Well, I have to remind you that it's
He's
a joke,
kidding.
too.
That was a joke. Yeah, we'll just have Steve follow us around with a laugh track.
I like that.
Jeez, not that
Here we
one.
go.
Okay, so Nadia wants to know,
Yeah.
can a 16-year-old do keto? Let me answer that. Absolutely. Your kids, all ages, should be doing healthy keto.
At what age should you start doing keto?
0.
Thank
I
you.
mean, first of all, if they're nursing, it's
No,
already keto.
Lucy is a keto baby.
Lucy, first of all, I should bring Lucy on this show because she's the cutest baby on the planet.
Are you
which
biased?
is no offense to any other babies on the planet. But anyway, yes, keto. See, here's the thing. Keto just means eating healthy. Healthy keto means putting healthy nutrients in your body that allows your body to heal and doesn't interfere. That's all keto is.
But isn't grains healthy? Whole grains?
Right.
They are?
They interfere
Oh, you're
with
right.
your body's ability
To
to
absorb.
heal and absorb and do the job it needs to do.
Whole grains, by the way, deplete zinc. And that really messes with people. There's over 2 billion people a year die of zinc deficiencies. 2 billion.
That's insane. And who knows
I'm
that?
sorry, I take that back.
Oh, 2 billion?
They don't die, they have a zinc deficiency.
2 billion people.
800,000 people
It is
die.
like-
That's a little different than 2 billion.
If your neighbor disappeared, chances are zinc.
It's one of those things that you say that and you go, wait a second.
No, that's not what I meant to say at
That's
all.
a high rate of people
That's
dying.
a lot of people, because you know somebody's going to come back and hold you to that. Somebody's
Oh.
going to be like, oh, Dr. Berg said.
Yeah, that's
But
extreme.
the point is, Nadia, that absolutely your 16-year-old should be eating healthy keto. I mean, it's just healthy food. It's like saying, at what age should I stop feeding people
donuts.
junk and sugar and carbs and snacks? And you start right away. Now, intermittent fasting is different. Children need to eat.
Do you ever
right?
see what people feed their kids, though? I mean, like they're constantly...
I see people in the
They might
grocery
eat-
store all the time.
They might eat healthy, but they give the kids, especially at restaurants, it's the Happy Meal. You have They have the different kids menu. Like, I'm sorry, but
I know.
don't
Well,
get me
I'm sure
started.
there's plenty of people watching that are just getting
Getting organized.
getting organized, and they're doing it. But their kids, they aren't helping their kids do it or change their kids' diet or their husband or their wife or whatever. And I get that, but everybody, if you want a healthy, strong body, or you want to heal, or you want to lose some weight, and you want to feel better, that's what you
I
should
think
be
it's
doing.
time for a video production of how to get your spouse to do keto. How about that one?
You already did that.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have
Pay,
sometimes
pay
I have
them
to
a lot of
sometimes
money, which, by the way, I'm still
waiting.
waiting for that check.
The thing is, like, I think that what was I going to say? What was that?
I don't know, but while you're thinking,
Oh well, that's going to help me.
so here's an interesting question. Someone is using the products, the Dr. Berg products,
Mm-hmm.
and not noticing result on only one, which is the hair formula, and asking, can they be taking too many trace minerals? Read somewhere that selenium actually makes your hair fall out.
Only in very high toxic doses. If you're taking, like, for example, my trace minerals, it's in trace amounts, very small amounts. You'd have to probably drink
Trace
the whole
amount
bottle.
of trace minerals?
Yeah, it's a very small amount. You're not going to have an excess amount. That's not the reason. The reason is that, let's say you, especially when we get into the fat soluble vitamins or even trace minerals, these nutrients are absorbed in the small intestine. If there's pre-existing damage, if you've been on an antibiotic, if the pH isn't correctly there, if you have not enough microbes, like all these factors inhibit the absorption, especially like zinc and other things. So what does that mean? It means you do need a little bit more. So I would recommend stepping it up a little bit, taking more, and see if that doesn't help you.
Or what about the probiotic? Or what if you
The
had
probiotic will help you for sure, but you also have the lining of the colon that helps, the little cilia that helps you absorb it, like it's like roots. And this is another reason why for some people they need to do higher levels of vitamin D, for example, to see changes, or even higher levels of even the minerals, and then do intermittent fasting to eventually heal the colon.
Now, what if you did have, you know, you either raised as a kid or you went through a lot of medical issues or whatever, and you did have antibiotics a lot? Like,
If you're raised as a child, you mean?
if you were
Versus
raised as a child
an
in
adult?
America,
Mm-hmm.
did I say that?
Mm-hmm.
Raised as a child?
I was raised as an adult. I didn't go through those early years, so I don't know how to answer that question.
Oh. Okay. So, but, you know, when I was growing up, if there was anything wrong with us ever, we went right to the doctor, and we didn't go to the doctor to really find out what was wrong with us. We only ever went to the doctor when we wanted a medicine. That's probably when a lot of people go to the doctor, when they can't tough it out anymore, and they're like, give me a drug. I need some kind of drug. I got friends, I know people who have kids, and their kids 3-4 times a year are at the medical doctor, and they're getting antibiotics. So, say you were raised like that. What do you do nutritionally now?
You do exactly what I'm doing right now, because I was raised like that. You basically get on healthy keto.
Were you raised as a child like that?
I was raised as a child, believe it or not. And what happens is you get on keto and you do IF. But here's the thing. I've never met anyone who doesn't have some other health problem. Like, everyone has some type of issue, weakness. So if you do, then you're going to have to target it with things that go beyond just the diet, you know? I talk about techniques of things like right here. There's nutrition you
didn't
take.
get in the screen.
So you have different nutrients, and this is what all the videos are about. But that being said, Karen, the most important thing for you to do, even before you think about that,
Dr.
is
Berg,
to get the...
what's the most important thing?
The most important thing is to implement the basics, healthy keto and IF. Like, just do that.
Okay.
And I promise you probably won't need as many additional things.
Good.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, I need to go to Cindy from California.
Okay.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, doctor.
So you're still hungry.
Thank you for all your videos.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Are you a little hungry?
So my question is, yes, I'm walking to my car, so could you talk about binging during feeding window?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing OMAD, and then I find myself eating 3-4 keto meals, 4,000 of worth of calories, and still not feeling full.
Okay.
I'm pretty active, and I take nutritional yeast, B3K2, and wheatgrass juice powder. How to approach that?
Okay. So you're just kind of, you still have insulin resistance. That's probably what's happening, and you can't really pull those nutrients in, so there's no turn-off switch to tell the brain, I'm satisfied. What you need to do, and this is kind of the key between to know you're in full ketosis, is the hunger goes away. So you're obviously not in ketosis yet. What really is the determining factor of getting in ketosis, Karen?
Huh?
What is the thing that determines whether you're in ketosis or out of ketosis? Is it the fat grams you eat, or what is it?
Say that one more time.
What determines if you're in ketosis or not?
Well, if your body's burning its own fat, you're in ketosis.
Right? But what makes you get into ketosis?
An absence of carbs.
Thank you. Good. Okay, so
sweating it.
yeah, what you need to do, Cindy, is you need to bring your carbs way down. And I'm talking like, if I were you, I'd go to my site right now, and under the keto tab, there's keto on steroids. That's the program I would do. It's a strict, hardcore thing. It's going to push you into ketosis, hardcore, thus the keto on steroids. Extreme ketosis, deep ketosis. Your hunger is going to go bye-bye. That's all you need, because you're doing 4,000 calories. Personally, I couldn't even eat that much. I mean, so it's amazing. So it just means that you have to tweak things and then do it a little bit longer, and this will work. Okay? It's time for a quiz. True or false? You ready, you guys? Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is potassium healthy or dangerous for your kidneys?
I thought you said this was a true or false.
I know, I changed it just at the last second.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Go ahead and answer that question.
Okay, just say healthy or dangerous is the answer.
Right. Okay, so let me just go to Sue from Canada. Are you there, Sue?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey.
Hello?
Hi. You had a question about hot
Hi,
flashes.
how are you?
Great.
Yes, I do. I've been watching your videos, and I'm a big Dr. Berg and Karen fan.
Oh, that's great.
That's
I've been
great.
converting my family for the past 2 months.
Awesome. Good job.
Thanks. So basically, I just had, I'm going to make it as quick as possible. My first question is, basically, I've been trying the keto diet for the past 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to make it as clean as possible, and I've been trying to have big salads or cutting the salads in half and having one salad in the first meal, the other one in the second meal.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been trying that for about 2 months, but I don't know why, but actually the past month or so, I've been getting warm flashes, like a warm sensation, not necessarily hot or burning, but like a warm sensation on my right foot, specifically my right foot, and it'll come and go throughout the day. I'm not sure why. It's just mind-boggling at the moment.
Well, you're in Canada,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that could explain, number one, that you may have a vitamin D thing that you might need to beef up, no pun intended, like your vitamin D levels, because vitamin D level can help with temperature in the body. And also, especially if it's like...
I do take vitamin D.
You do?
Like, I take it religiously with vitamin K2, and I'm taking a whole food, plant-based multivitamin. I'm also taking, just to be on the safe side, I'm taking some B vitamins. I just want to let you know so you have more information about what I'm taking.
So if we take a look at it like a hot flash, which sounds like it's probably not, but let's just say there's a couple things there's a whole list that's going through my mind of what I would try first. If this doesn't work, I would go to the next step. Like, for example, vitamin E is important too. in the pituitary and preventing hot flashes. That would be one thing. I would also look at iodine, which controls temperature, vitamin D for thermogenesis. So there's all these little things I would look at to try to help you. But that's what I would recommend. And Sue, hopefully you can come to the summit, because we have a lot of people from Canada coming to the summit.
Yes, a lot of people already signed up.
So it's going to be very exciting, and I would love to meet you. Thanks, Sue. I appreciate your question.
Now, we should mention that already, because I took a look, hundreds of people coming. Already 1/3 of the platinum seats are sold out.
Yeah, I know.
So it's exciting.
Yes, there's a lot of people that are just working out the details.
Yeah.
But you may want to get set up right now, because I would hate to have you like, fine, we're just sold out. And then you're like, what? I got to wait till next year? So get signed up very soon and get your ticket.
Yeah. I have questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, Elise is asking an interesting question here. Why is potassium usually only sold? She says 99 milligrams. I often see it in 50.
Isn't that interesting?
Why is that?
That is so fascinating. It's weird. Like, wait a second. We need
4,700.
4.5 times more than even like a lot of other minerals, a lot more than anything else. This huge demand, yet you can't get it in a high demand unless you get it into a powder, or you get my electrolyte, of course. But the point is that it's quite amazing. I do not know, and I think the only thing could be is related to this question.
Oh.
This question that I need to get the answer before I answer this fully.
Yes. So most people said, a vast majority said it's healthy, and then a couple of people, there was a couple of dangers, but then a couple of people were saying in too high a quantity or a dosage under certain situations, it is not healthy, or that it is dangerous, but there was only a few.
Okay, here's the answer.
Yeah.
Potassium is super, super healthy for you if the kidneys are healthy. If your kidneys are at end stage 5, okay, kidney failure, where you only have like 10% left, it's unhealthy, because you can't get rid of potassium, so it just builds up and you develop what's called hyperkalemia, which is too much potassium. So the point is that for the vast majority of the population, potassium is protective to the kidneys. It protects you. It lowers blood pressure. It lowers your blood sugars, especially for diabetics. Because if you're low in potassium, you eventually get kidney problems. So, this is the false data that people have, is like they think that, oh, I don't want to take potassium because it's going to ruin my kidneys. I'm like, actually, it will save your kidneys. And the only time you want to take it if you're on kidney dialysis or you have end stage. But the point is that potassium is very, very vital. And related to this lady's question, I think there's just this taken out of context of taking this idea that, oh, potassium is dangerous, and then all of a sudden potassium is dangerous for everyone. It's kind of like, well, keto is dangerous because it causes ketoacidosis. Yeah, but what about nutritional ketosis? So it's like your inability to differentiate two things and thinking it, I had a bad relationship with a girl once when I was in high school, therefore all girls
women
are bad.
Right. Steve, except in Steve's situation,
Steve still is believing that.
Steve should be counting his blessings every second of his life for his wife.
True
and
statement.
You know it.
True statement.
But anyway, your point is well taken, Dr. Berg.
And guys, don't go away, because I have one more thing I want to talk about, that
What about the
bulletproof coffee.
girls?
What about the girls?
Should they stay tuned?
The girls should stay tuned as well. Okay. Brooke, you're from Arizona, and you had a question. Go ahead.
Hi, Dr. Berg.
Hi.
Thank you so much. Yes, my name's Brooke. I'm calling from Tempe, Arizona.
Awesome.
And I have lost 285 pounds.
Oh, woo! Where's my bell?
That's
Where's my
incredible.
bell?
Thank you. Thank you very much. 200 of that was done the old way. Eat less, move more, oatmeal, egg whites, apple slices. Oh my. And the last 85 was done with your content, Dr. Berg.
Wow.
And I must say it was quality weight loss. That the last 85 pounds, I've really been able to transform my health and fitness. And what was interesting is after I had lost 200 pounds, I still just wasn't feeling right. There was something missing. And that's because I was treating the obesity. I wasn't treating the real problem, and that was the insulin resistance.
Wow.
And I know, and I actually got some bad information on keto, and it ended up making my gallbladder hurt. And that's how I found you.
Wow.
That's how I found you. And I started watching your videos. I got totally obsessed and just dove right in, and your content has been amazing, from the HIIT training to, oh my gosh, you're going to love this. Guess who no longer pees at night anymore? This girl right here. I'm 41 years old.
Wow, that's huge. That's huge. That's great.
Sleeping through the night.
And and that's just, to me, magic, because I've been using the bathroom since I was a child in the middle of the night.
Oh wow.
And now I'm 41. I'm 41. I've been going at this since I was 38 years old, and I've hit a plateau. Since January, my weight is fluctuating from 180 to 187. But there are some things that you remind me of, Dr. Berg. How do I feel? I feel amazing. I have what my daughter calls magic keto powers. The second thing I remind myself of is we're getting healthy, and then we lose the weight. So I cannot allow the scale to create mind noise and sorcery and magic that doesn't exist, because it can do that if you're not careful. And you reminded me of that, Dr. Berg. And the third thing is this is going to take time. I have a lot of atrophy from being 465 pounds.
Wow.
I had 3 children throughout that time, and my grandmother told me I'd been overweight since about kindergarten. That's when I started to become overweight. So there's a lot of healing going on, but I never would have been able to get to where I'm at without your content, Dr. Berg.
Right.
And it's so important for people to listen when we do hit these plateaus, that when we're fixing this insulin resistance, your videos will tell us everything that's happening with our bodies. And yes, I am still losing weight in my stomach, and that's how I know that it's working still. It's still working.
Awesome. So
That's great.
I want to comment a couple things. You're right. It's like, if you're doing it the old-fashioned way, which is move more, eat less, you really have to be on a diet to lose weight constantly, and you're struggling. But keto is kind of like, you're not on a diet, you're just changing the macros a little bit, and you're satisfied. And all of a sudden, now you start getting healthy, and the weight comes off without the hunger and the craving. So you're doing great. I think with you, it's a matter of just taking a look at, it's going to take more time. There's another guy coming to the summit, and hopefully you can come as well, but there's another guy coming to the summit. He came last year. He was the guy that was 600 pounds, right? Well, guess what? He's losing even more weight, but it's gradual. Like from last year, I think he was like 235. He's a lot less now. So we're going to see him completely different, but he's just coming along each year. He's looking at it a little bit longer term. If you want to speed things up, you can always do more prolonged fasting. You could drop your carbs more. You could even cut down some of the fat. But honestly, I think I would ride the wave and just keep going, because it's really your healing insulin resistance. So thanks, Brooke, and I hope to see you at the summit as well.
Awesome.
Tina, you're from Missouri. You had a quick question with your 7-year-old, autistic.
It's my grandson.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a 7-year-old grandson with autism. I was just wondering if the keto diet would benefit him.
Highly
He's very
recommend.
Constipated and has outbursts at school and very sound sensitive.
Yeah, you need to get that child on exactly the healthy version of keto without any snacks, the 3 meals. That's what you need to do ASAP. And also, you need to start giving him some good amount of vitamin D3. That there's a huge connection with that and improvement in autism, as well as the B vitamins. So do that. I will create some more videos on that, and I think he's going to be helped. All right, Tina? Thank you. And then we also have Junaid from Florida. You had a question?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Berg and Karen.
Good morning.
First of all, I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I am one of the biggest fan of you and YouTube and Facebook. So 2 months ago, I was 250 pounds. Now, as of today morning, I'm 233 pounds.
Wow.
Great.
Thank you very much for this.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And so I have a question that next month we're going to have something like a holy month of Ramadan.
Yeah.
So you're going to have like 1 million people doing a fasting.
Mm-hmm.
So that means like for the whole month, we cannot eat or drink anything after 5:30 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night, which is almost 15 hours a day for the whole month.
Perfect.
And I'm trying to figure out a way to how to manage intermittent fasting for this month. And also, I use everyday morning, kale shake with your wheatgrass product and electrolyte every day, and plus 3 tablets of yeast. Do you think that I can take this like in the morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I can survive until 8 o'clock at night? I don't know, but just trying to find a way to manage intermittent fasting for this month.
Very simple. It's nothing secret. It's just the same meal, healthy version. Get your fluids up in the morning, and then you don't drink or eat anything during that period of time. It's nothing special. Just shift the time of eating, just like I talk about in my book.
You can have breakfast at 5 a.m.
Before that.
Yeah.
And then, it's just nothing secret to manage that. Just do the same thing, like what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of people that 16 hours is the shortest window of fasting. Yeah. So they'll eat at 11 in the morning, and maybe they'll eat at 7 at night or something like that. It's the exact same thing. It's just that the times when people are eating, you're probably sleeping, but you do get to eat after the sun goes down, right?
Yeah.
And
then after
have an early
a couple days,
breakfast.
You'll adapt to it, and it's going to be easier and easier and easier. But thank you so much for your call. I just have to, because we're running out of time, I have to answer the question, the bulletproof coffee thing, right?
Oh, right.
Autophagy. Now, autophagy is a very fascinating self-cleaning oven effect of your cells. Your cells are cleaning out of all the garbage and the waste and the microbes and the dead proteins, and it's going in this being very efficient mode. And it's using those recycled parts for new parts for the strong cells. So it's kind of, it's like the greatest good. It's like taking all this stuff and then just focusing this. And also you're recycling your nutrients. You want to do fasting to get into autophagy. What's interesting is vitamin D is intimately involved in also stimulating autophagy as well. So if you get sun with fasting, it's powerful. Now, bulletproof coffee is in the morning. You're just doing fat. And I talked about fat not increasing insulin. Is it going to break your fast? Well, it all depends on what's happening with your ketones, right, and your insulin. But here's the thing. It's true that bulletproof coffee with the fat that you eat in the coffee will not affect your ketones because that fat is going to turn into ketones, but potentially it could affect your autophagy, simply because you're not putting your body into necessarily a negative calorie balance where you're kind of using as much of your, like autophagy is all about you're burning your own ketones and you're using this energy and your body is in this mode. There's gradients of that. You can look at it like a dial. If you do a good amount of fat in your coffee, that's probably going to stop your autophagy. It won't stop your ketosis, but it could inhibit your autophagy. But if you're doing like maybe a small amount of butter, like let's say a teaspoon of butter or MCT oil in your coffee, maybe it might bump you out just a little bit, but not significantly, because we're talking a teaspoon is only like 100 calories. But most people do like 500 calories of fat in their coffee. Well, forget about getting an autophagy. It's going to like stop it cold. So if you really want to be hardcore, don't do anything fat-wise in your coffee because it's going to inhibit things. And it also depends on your metabolism. Like if you have a really, and you're exercising. If you're exercising a lot, you have a fast metabolism, you can probably get away with it. If you don't, then that can be a problem. Because people think, oh, I'm going to drink my coffee, I'm going to sit on the couch, I don't have to exercise, I can eat fat all day long, and I can get an autophagy. Not going to happen. Anyway,
okay.
That was a fast, try to answer that fast because I know we went over.
Yeah, we went over.
All right.
Thanks for hanging out and staying past
the time.
Past the time.
Right. Guys, have a wonderful weekend. We'll
Yeah.
see you next week. Enjoy the beautiful spring out there.
Yeah. See ya.